Hi, Mitchell Dale. This is Rugby League Week TV. I'm joined by Martin Linehan and Rocco Luca from Rugby League Week. Guys, big game up there in Brisbane this afternoon. Brisbane are playing for their lives. Where there's life, there's hope for the Broncos, but they wouldn't have liked to be in this position. A few games throughout the year that they dropped that they could have won, and that's made all the difference for them. Sam Fido says that in the column in Rugby League Week this week. They've just lacked a killer instinct, and now they find themselves in this predicament.
Yeah, and not only Sam saying that, what about what club legend Glenn Lazarus had to say in the mag this week? Mitch, he's
ripped in.
He has. He's claimed the club has now accepted mediocrity, something that would never have happened back in the glory days.
As he says, that's un-Bronco-like to do something like that.
Well, they had the players though, boys, didn't they? I mean, it's a very different Broncos team. You don't have a lot of mediocrity when you've got Langer, Lockyer, Tallis, Lazarus, Renouf, the list goes on. So, got to accept it's a different team. But they've only won 2 out of their last 8, and really to go to what they did last week in such a pressure situation with so much on the line, they've let it slide badly.
Wayne's got a big job on his hands, don't you think, Wayne?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Obviously, really interesting for Bennett to come up against Brisbane this week. Get a bit of a look at what he's going to be working with next year. But Brisbane can't be too worried about the future. They've got to right the wrongs, get this thing back, as Thiago said, get it back on track as of today. Yeah,
look, results have gone their way, particularly last weekend. It allowed them to still be in and around with a hope, the same as the Dragons, I guess. But from now on, they've got to step up. They have to control their own destiny. What do you reckon? Can they keep their season alive?
Look, they're at home this week. They're a better side at home, and I'm going to tip the Broncos.
Yeah, look, I think Newcastle have used a bit of emotion with some home wins. They've been fantastic, really. The last 2 weeks have been incredible, but totally different story going up to Brisbane. There's too much to play for the Broncos to let this one slide. I think they'll win by 10 points. Yeah,
they've won 6 of their past 8, Newcastle. They're probably one of the form sides of the competition over the past 2 months. Look, I think Brisbane will win this as well, probably 1-12 for me. Speaking of the Broncos, guys, I have a tip from the Mole. Now, Josh Hoffman, a lot has been made of him and what's going to happen next year. If Darius Boyd does go to Brisbane like we think, all of a sudden they've got 4 fullbacks. They've got Boyd, they've got Milford, they've got Hoffman, and they've also got Ben Barber there. They certainly can't keep them all, and Hoffman could be the odd one out. Now, if that happens, the Mole reckons it will spark a feeding frenzy. Canberra, the Titans and the Dogs all desperate for a star fullback. Now, interestingly, the Mole reckons it might be Canberra who come out on top because they have cash to burn.
Well, they're in the market for a star fullback, and there is a shortage of them, and he's definitely a star fullback when fit, and I think he'll get his biggest payday at Canberra if he takes that offer.
Well, he certainly deserves a huge payday. For mine, he's been Brisbane's best all year.
Doggies for me, boys. He's going to Canterbury. I couldn't see who'd want to go to Canberra, let's be honest. They're terrible. He's going to the Dogs.
Well, that's been their problem the whole time. It's been attracting people to the city as well as the club that's been Canberra's biggest battle. Look, I don't go against the Mole. We'll wait and see what happens. Josh Hoffman, if he does decide to leave Brisbane, a lot depends on Wayne Bennett as well and what he wants. What Bennett wants, he will get. But look for a feeding frenzy if Josh Hoffman comes onto the market.